Slot machines. Those stupid little fruit machines that take billions of dollars a year from gamblers looking to hit big. They're known for having the worst odds of any game that the casino offers. And people seem to know that, for the most part. Most people. But not these guys. Right here, I've got 2 books that claim to teach you how to win at slot machines. That's right, win. Not just enjoy the experience, but actually beat a machine specifically designed to take your money. I'm Rob, and I'm in recovery from a gambling addiction. A lot of the lies that I told myself to justify continuing to gamble are what I'm guessing these books are going to be talking about. So if at any point in this video you hear one of these authors say something you've told yourself to keep gambling, then I want you to smash that subscribe button, because I don't want you to make any of the mistakes that I was making during my 6 years that I was active with my gambling addiction. Oh, and for this video, there's another twist. One of these 2 books is apparently the best slot strategy book on Amazon by the ratings. And the other one, well, let's just say it's not winning any awards. In fact, it's the worst reviewed book in the category of slot machine strategy books, which honestly had way more books than I thought it would. I don't know which was rated the best and which was rated the worst, so I'll be taking my guess at the end of today's video. But let's see what they actually say. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn the secret to gambling riches, quit this gambling addiction YouTube stuff, and move to Vegas and hit big. But if this video does get published, it's probably safe to assume that these books were full of shit. First up, How to Win at Slots by Jeffrey O. Eastman. Let's see how quickly this book crushes my faith in humanity. First of all, make sure others are winning bonuses or large dollar amounts and doing their fair share of getting paid. Then and only then will you be in the hunt for your share of riches. So this is literally just the gambler's fallacy. He's saying that past results of independent events have an impact on future events, which is quite literally the #1 lie that gambling addicts tell ourselves when we're gambling to justify continuing. Secondly, you will have a better chance at the larger casino with 1,000 or more slots. I regularly play at one that has over 1,600 slots. Okay, Jeffrey, I'm listening. What's your reasoning for this play? The smaller casinos have a higher owner to profit percentage, so fewer winners. Just my observations. So translation for us, trust me, bro. In fairness, page 7 has what is probably the best tip in the book. Know your limit. I typically only use a $20 bill, and very rarely do I use a larger bill unless I've spent all my little ones on errands in town or paying for gas. This is actually nice. Not ruining your life is a good tip, but if you're interested in how he actually spends his money, we have to wait until chapter 5 for advanced techniques, which luckily for us is 2 pages away because the entirety of this book is 17 pages long, and then it's just a bunch of blank tables for you to write down how much money you're losing at the casino. But before that point, he had a huge tip to start chapter 4. First and foremost, if a machine does not pay you within the first $5 to $10, then use another machine. Most of my wins come out of the first $5, so I know that if a machine is feeling grumpy or has not had its cup of coffee, then go surfing, try something else. Remember, this is a business, and you are trying to outsmart the machine. In this chapter, he also claims that the artificial intelligence that runs the machines, which there isn't one, but whatever, is skilled at surprising you. So just keep trying new machines until you get surprised. Now, chapter 5 lays out the big reveal of the book. The machines are designed to give you a couple bucks early on, to give you that feeling that you're playing with their money. But after that very next play is when they like to start taking all of that away and taking your money. But you still have this feeling that it was their money. That is the psychological programming kicking in. In seriousness, the machines are designed to pay the casino a certain percentage over millions of spins. They don't care about how you feel after depositing your $5 bill, Jeffrey. But chapter 6 ends with a banger. Certain casinos will give back your losses. What I mean by that is that you will be rewarded a few dollars each week in the next month for a loss of $100 or more. So I spent money on a book to tell me that casinos have rewards cards. Thanks, Jeff. But before I can dismiss this book as the worst reviewed one, I have to see more about the author. Maybe, just maybe, he's a former casino insider, Or maybe he's worked at the company that built slot machines and knows more about it than me. Because if that's the case, I will gladly eat any negative words that I had to say about you, Jeffrey. I, Jeffrey O. Eastman, became interested in casinos 2010 to 2011 after seeing how you could get food for points after playing slots. Well, let's just read the next book. Let's see what Mike has to say in Mike's Guide to Better Slot Play 2022. Maybe he has some real insider knowledge. I am not saying that if you follow my advice, you will be a big slot winner. Winning a jackpot relies entirely on luck. However, you will play longer for the same amount of money, and you will get more enjoyment out of the game if you follow my advice. This is what I was talking trash on him for earlier, for not doing. Let's see if he keeps his word, though. After all, playing slot machines, like all other forms of gambling, is entertainment. We expect to pay for entertainment. This has to be the better reviewed book, right? At the same time, he's telling you on page 1 that reading this will give you no better chance to actually win, which I imagine was the reason literally anyone would read this book. But then, and then, on page 43, which is deceptively deep into the book, we get into the meat of the content. The Guide to Better Slot Play. In any event, it usually doesn't take much knowledge to play a slot machine, right? Wrong! He then dives into the places where casino management places the loosest slots. Sources, once again, trust me, bro. He says elevated carousels, crossover areas, like where people have to walk to get to another part of the building, cafes, ATMs, and cashiers. All plausible, but not backed up by any fact. Or he says that if that fails, just find where the locals are playing. Like that bus filled with senior citizens that pulls up every day at 7 a.m. is filled with devious casino slot strategists and the best that the world has to offer. His argument is basically to ask around for where people have seen the most wins happening in the casino, and then go play there. Which is, once again, the gambler's fallacy, that those past results must mean a better chance to win in the future. Well, he then dives into telling you what your bet amount should be and how many reels you should play at once. He decides this number based on reading the last payout result of the machine. Oh, the guy who was here last won, so this must be a good one. Essentially, yet again, the logic here. He then goes into a very technical strategy called the nines technique, which essentially just means to bet less than the maximum to play a little bit longer and basically pray for a jackpot to hit, which he admitted in the beginning is based on dumb luck. Essentially, Mike's guide to slot play is lose your money slower and hope you get a jackpot while doing it. Now, throughout the rest of the book, he dives into a few more technical explanations of how to pattern your bets to lose it slower, and despite all the buzzwords he uses, like credits, multipliers, preferred reels, and more, it all basically comes down to this final paragraph in the end. There is one fatal flaw with this technique. It only works where the odds of winning and losing are the same. As you should know by now, this is not the case in any casino game. The house advantage ensures that this will never happen. So he spent a long time explaining how to lose slower, which, to give him credit for, I imagined that he would kind of play up and lie about, and in the end tell you that you're going to win. But in the end, he told the truth. As I said at the outset of this video, there is no way to beat a slot machine. Mike, we can agree on that. And that's why I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and guess that you had the best reviewed book on slot machine strategy that the world had to offer. Let's take a look at the results. How to Win at Slots by Jeffrey Eastman has 6 reviews and it's at 2.1 stars. Not good. Whereas Mike's Guide to Better Slot Play, it's got 4 stars. It's somehow the #1 bestseller in slot machines as the category, and it's got 216 reviews. So I guess the people valued the honesty and maybe the history behind this book compared to Jeffrey. I had fun today going through these, but just remember the closing remarks from our good friend Mike. The house always wins. If you want to hear a story about why I'm so passionate on the topic of gambling addiction and educating people on the reality of gambling, then watch this video about my personal story of addiction. And let's keep getting better together, one day at a time.